I'm Jake Deffinbaugh, and welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, a podcast where me and my friends talk about nostalgic moments and pop culture from our childhoods. We interview people such as actors, producers, composers, puppeteers, and more. We'll be sharing our favorite memories, talk about behind-the-scenes moments, and so much more. I'm your host, Jake Deffinbaugh, and welcome to this Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode.
There you go.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. I'm your host, Jake, and my co-host, Chris Bixby and Wyatt McCullough. How are you guys?
Good.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Very awesome to hear. And our last guest that we got,
Yes.
Mitchell Creekman.
Yeah, he's
Creator
awesome.
of
Yeah.
Air, who has explains all more, not just two of those shows too, but he created more of that, and he writes some stuff, and really fun time. But anyway, so this guest that we have, it's a really cool thing for because recently we got some composers, we got some puppeteers, but this guest we have is very different. As I say,
Yeah.
you'll see what I mean. Today we got a ventriloquist, and also a musician and magician as well, and
And so
well, yeah, that I mentioned, and his
Alright.
name is Steve Charney. Steve, how are you?
how are you?
I'm living a dream, my friends. Best years of my life.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, we're happy to have you on.
Yeah, we're happy to have you on.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be anywhere. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
So
go
first
ahead.
question to start
there you
off is how you started becoming a musician, songwriter, ventriloquist, and as well as magician.
Yeah. How'd you get started in all this business?
Wait, I'm sorry, I garbled a little. How I got started as a magician? You're asking?
Or
How did you get started as a magician, songwriter, and musician? And
Like,
on
yeah.
the whole thing. That's a big question.
yeah, the whole thing.
Okay, big question. Okay, so first of all, I'll say I started as a magician when I was about 5 or 6 years old. My father would bring magic tricks home with him. He'd go to Lou Tannen's in Manhattan and pick one up and then come back and teach me. And he and I had a little magic club. And so, typical of young kids, I got really into it. And then I stopped for many years. So when I got to about my late 20s, I realized I had to figure out a way to make a living. And I went, well, maybe I can perform magic. And I also started on the radio with ventriloquism.
Nice.
Which was the joke, because you have to work on the honor system when you're on the radio, that your lips aren't going to move.
Mhm.
And then I'd start showing up at parties doing magic tricks and singing songs, and they go, "Where's Harry, my dummy?"
Yeah.
And I went, "Holy cow, I got to learn how to do this." And so I had to buy a dummy, I had to learn. So I fell into it by accident. And then I was profiled in the New Yorker and a few other things. And I had a friend who knew Mitchell, and he said, "Why don't you contact Mitchell?" And Mitchell was just starting Bear the Big Blue House.
Yeah.
And I started writing songs for him. To fill out my radio show, I had to write my own songs. And so the whole thing kind of grew together as a career. I'm also a children's author. I've written about 50
Nice.
books. And
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of them. They're really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Cool.
Yeah, if you're into magic, hocus jocus is like my manifesto. That's a lot of information on how to be a funny magician. And of course, well, I don't know. Harry's around here somewhere, but
Yeah.
I think he's using.
He'll
the
pop
bathroom.
up later.
He'll come out in a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Every story's different on the show. You don't know where they're coming from and all that.
Yeah.
One thing
I've
I
been
learned.
very lucky. I've been very lucky that I don't have to wash dishes for a living or
Yeah.
dig ditches. I actually worked out this product that allowed me to make money. And I remember one time I was doing a school show, and the principal was writing a check for me at the end, and there was a little kid watching me, and he looked at how much the guy paid me, and he said, "Wait, you just made that much amount of money doing what you just did on the stage?" I went, "Yeah." He says, "Man, when I grow up, I want to be just like you."
Awesome.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah, that made me feel good.
Yeah, so since we were talking about Bear, what are your thoughts about Bear turning 25
25.
next year?
Holy
Next year's
cow.
its 25th anniversary.
That's weird since I'm only going to be 23. Right, sure. I think it's great that there are people still. The show, it was so good,
Yeah.
and it was. What was amazing about it was, and Mitchell used to say, and Peter Lurie, you got Peter
Yeah.
Lurie on the show?
Yeah, he
Oh
was on
yeah,
stage
he
with
was
us.
awesome. Yes.
Yeah. So, they said a lot of times people would go on to that show and it was the first thing they did, and they just assumed that all shows were like that. And then they found a rude awakening as the years went on that there's a lot of crap out there. And that Bear was a very special show. I mean, it was very high quality.
It really
Yes.
is.
And as a result,
It is.
it lasts 25 years later. There are guys like you who still remember it and are interested in it. And it's real. It was
Yeah.
thrilled to be part of it.
It's awesome. Like
Yeah,
I remember watching it on Playhouse Disney and VHS.
Yeah,
It's
me and Jake actually have some things
Yep.
from Bear.
Yeah, he
The
has snow
background,
Bear.
yeah.
Yeah, I was. It was really fun to go to the cast parties because you got to meet all the, Tutter and
Peter Williams.
Ojo and all those guys. So I just felt very special, and they really liked the songs I written. It was the best songs I ever wrote.
Yeah.
A lot of that had to do with Peter because he really was able to steer me on how to write a good song. I learned a lot from doing it.
He's awesome. He always is. Do you have a favorite song you wrote for the show? Speaking of songs,
Say that again.
do you have a favorite Bear song you wrote?
Oh, me. Well, I have one. I have my favorite.
Yeah, your favorite.
I'd have to say 3. I really love I Want to Be a Bug,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yes.
and I loved Friends for Life
Yeah.
and Old Doc Hogg.
Oh
Those-
my god,
Those are
that
some good
song's
ones.
amazing.
I remember on your channel, I saw like a cover of Friends for Life with you and Harry. That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how Chris discovered you, and then he found your website. as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, gee, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. So I would take those songs and I do them myself on stage, on
Yeah.
live shows and things. And it was nice that I was able to do that. Disney hasn't come down on me yet for stealing the songs.
Yeah, as long as they haven't gone to you, you're still fine.
Yeah. And
Just keep doing it.
So that was fun. And I've written about 24 songs for them. And
Mhm.
the money was good and it was fun to do. And Peter was great putting the production together,
Mhm. And Brian
really.
was amazing as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, towards the end it was Brian.
They're all amazing.
I wish it had gone longer. That was
Yeah.
the
They
only
should have.
Yeah.
You're 10 seasons or 50 seasons like Sesame Street.
Yeah.
I'm up for it. I would do it. And,
There you go. There you go. It needs to come back.
Yeah.
Disney World had a thing with Bear, and
Yeah.
and of course it was a Jim Henson production, which is just wonderful because
Right.
Jim Henson's
got-
amazing, especially what he did with the Muppets.
Yeah. He died early, which is a shame.
Yeah. And I mentioned this in the Mitchell one, but Chris saw Bear live, surprise party tour.
Yeah. When I was little, I saw Bear live.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
one
They
that was
did that
recorded.
stage show. They did that show. They went around doing it. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, there was 2 stage shows.
Yeah.
You know who Dave Barry is? You ever hear of Dave Barry?
No.
He's a comedian, writer. Okay, never mind.
We'll
He's my-
find him and contact him.
Yeah, he's my hero. Dave Barry is the funniest man on the planet.
We'll get him.
And one of his columns, he was a newspaper columnist. He
Yeah.
had a column in the Miami Herald, I think it was. And he mentioned one of my songs as being his kid's favorite song. And I was just so
Oh, wow,
excited.
that's awesome.
Dave
Wow.
Barry, my hero of all heroes, like this
Yeah.
song. Anyway,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
That's
awesome.
Right.
So how did Harry come about? Like how did that all
Yeah.
happen with Harry?
Well, when I started my radio show, and this was in 1980, if you can believe it.
Wow.
I didn't know anything about radio, and the guy who owned the station said, can I do a show for you? And he said, what can you do? And I said, how about a kid's show? And he went, sure, if you know what you're doing, go ahead. I didn't know what I was doing. And I basically took it, week by week. And I was desperate for material because I was running out very quickly. So I went to the library and took out a book on how to do ventriloquism. Yeah. And the guy's name was Harry. And I just started. Yeah. And so then he became just a voice, I just had him talk like this. And on the radio, you can do that. And suddenly people were going, hey, I like that little character you got on the radio. What is it? And so when I did shows, I had to go get them. I had to go buy a dummy and learn how to do it for real. And that's how I started. And he kind of took over the show more and more and became like a, co-star. So co-host. And that's how it started.
Yeah. I gotta say, I give you lots of respect for that because the puppeteering is hard. Me and Chris are beginner puppeteers and I don't understand how you guys do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very easy for me. For some reason, it took me a long time. I thought anybody can do this. This is so simple.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
And your hand hurts for a while after the puppet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then after a few years, I went, oh, I guess maybe I just have a gift because a lot of people can't do this. And so that was always my my superpower, the ability to entertain children. It was very easy to do. And adults, for that matter. All you got to do is, look a kid in the eye and say "duty," and they laugh. Doesn't take much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's your favorite part about performing, Harry?
Like your favorite routine. What's your favorite routine with him?
Yeah.
My favorite routine?
Yeah.
Harry, come here. Here he comes. Wait 1 second. Harry, come over.
Oh my gosh.
Come here, man. Holy cow, what's going on? Well, these are our new friends. They're kind of ugly. Stop it. They're not ugly. Man, that guy's ugly. That one right there. Stop it. He's not that.
Oh boy.
Well, anyway, now say you're sorry. I'm sorry, you're ugly. No, stop. Say something nice. All right, you're kind. Thank you. You're kind of ugly. Stop it. I have to apologize. He's not feeling that well. I'm feeling great. You suck. Now stop it. Stop. Right.
I think this is the funniest interview we had.
Yeah.
Well, you must have really boring interviews then.
Anyway.
Well, look at these guys. They have nice hair. They do have
Thank
nice
you.
hair. Coming from each nostril.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hair coming from each nostril. Look in my eyes and say you're sorry. Every time I look in your eyes, all I see is the back of your head. Come on. You know why his mother called him Steve when he was a kid? Because she couldn't spell.
There you go. Oh boy.
Hey, audience, look at this. They're laughing. They're like the only people who ever laughed at your jokes. Stop it. Now stop. Okay. Now we're gonna do my favorite routine with you. All right. Okay. And it's and don't mess this up. I'm not gonna mess it up. You promise? Yeah, no. All right, good. Now, repeat after me. Yeah. Say Charlie cheats at checkers. If Checker cheated Charlie, truly cheats at checkers when Charlie cheated chess. Go ahead and say that. Charlie cheats at checkers. If Checker cheated Charlie, truly cheats at checkers when Charlie cheated chess. Go ahead and say that. All right, we'll take it slowly. When Charlie cheats, Chuck E. Cheese. No, Charlie cheats. Charlie cheeks. Charlie cheats. Charlie cheats. Charlie cheats at checkers. Charlie eats his checkers. No. I'm sorry, guys. Charlie cheats at checkers. At checkers. If Checker cheated Charlie, say if Checker cheater. If trick or treater. No, Checker cheater. Checker cheater. Chicken chopper. Checker cheater. Chicken cheater. What? Checker cheater Charlie. Say Charlie. Steve Charney. Steve Charney. It's checker, cheater, Charlie. Yeah. If checker, cheater, Charlie truly cheats at checkers, truly tar trousers. No, truly cheats at checkers. Say truly cheats, truly treats, truly cheats at checkers, Would Charlie cheat at chess? There's cream cheese on your chest. No. Would Charlie cheat at chess? Would Charlie tweak his guest? Would Charlie cheat? Charlie cheat at chess. Sure, he's going to cheat at chess if he's cheating at checkers. A dirty rat! Oh, I wanted me to do it. I did it.
He's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome.
This is the best audience we've had in a long time. Yeah, no kidding. All right. Now, what else do you want? You want to do anything else? We could keep doing this forever.
Yeah, we got more questions for you.
Yeah.
I love
Okay,
it.
you got more questions. All right. For me? No,
So-
I think the questions.
Well, actually, Harry, I do have a question. What's it like working with Steve?
Yeah.
Oh man, it is so hard. It's not that hard. You're hard. He sticks me in a trunk all day. He doesn't feed me. He doesn't give me much air. I'm freezing a little air hole. And it is difficult. Then he takes me out. Doesn't pay me crap. Stop it. No, come on. I pay you a little bit. I say, man, a couple of logs a week. Yes. Anyway, no, it's really fun. No, go ahead. Tell them the truth. It's all right. That's it? I made you. I created you. I'm like your god. Yeah, you're a nut.
Gosh.
Anyway, yeah, he's fun. He's fun.
Yeah.
You like working with me, don't you? Yes, I do. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. What other question you got?
Boy.
That is awesome. So, your show, Knock on Wood, which is awesome. How did that all come about?
Oh, you better feel that one. Okay. Well, again, I sort of answered it a little earlier. There was this guy who I knew when I first came to Woodstock who said, I knew him since I was a kid. And when I moved to Woodstock, I looked him up and I said, I want to do a show for you. And he said, what? And the only thing I could think of was a children's show. And he went, go for it. And so I just sort of fell into that. It's not something I went to school for, not something I really cared about. But I thought it would be fun to do a radio show. And then from there, things kind of took off. I went to a much bigger radio station. I went to public radio out of Albany, which covered like 5 states. And then it was syndicated around the country. So, it just became more and more of a thing. And I got better and better, like everything else. You practice and you get better and better.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's no dummy. Yeah. Okay. You're the dummy. I'm not a dummy. I'm a smarty. I'm
That's
a
awesome.
wooden American. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like the episode of Knock on Wood, the Knock on Wood store, I think it's called. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that because that's my favorite too. I love doing the Knock on Wood store. I did about 12 of them, and it would be a recurring thing because it just lets your imagination go wild. You could just anything,
Awesome.
anything
Yes.
in the store. And Harry was you were working in the store too. Yes. And so I'm glad you like that one because I would write that. It would be so much fun to write it because it would just let my imagination go crazy. I could do anything because on radio you can. Somebody once said there's no difference between radio and television except on radio the pictures are better.
Right.
And the other thing about radio was that my show was kind of a takeoff on old time radio.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you ever listen to old time radio, you really might be too young for it to even have that context. But I grew up at the tail end of it and I loved it. Nowadays you can't find what I did on radio anymore. That idea of different voice characterizations, sound effects, and and different characters, people coming in and out, guests. You catch a glimpse of it. I guess some podcasts might have it, but
Yeah.
But now it's so old fashioned that people you can't even get anybody to even go, what is this? What kind of radio show is this? But at the time, people understood what it was. It was like going back to Vaudeville, going back to the 40s before television. And they laughed because it was kind of a wink towards them, wink towards those kind of radio shows, the old days, Fred Allen, Jack Benny, where they created images in the listener's head with sound effects. And I had like 10 different voice characterizations. I had a guy who talked like this, and I had this fellow Rondos, the interviewer on the street, and I had a lady, and I always had the woman.
That sounds like poo.
And then you had me, and then I had Harry, and what else? There was a few more. I had this fellow, he talked like this, and there was an Indian fellow too, he talked with an Indian accent, Baba Ganoush. And it was so much fun to just bring in these characters and just do them by myself. The whole thing was done by me. And
that's fun.
Yes, and you too.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it really does.
It was a gas. Yeah. And then it became a podcast where I did 150 podcasts. And that's now called Conversations with My Dummy. I guess maybe you guys know about that.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I changed it. And the name. It originally was called The Steve Show when I was originally on the first station. And then it just built from that, knock on wood, then Conversations with My Dummy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
now
awesome.
we don't do anything. Yeah, no.
Yep. What are some of your favorite jokes you write for your joke books? Anyway.
Yeah, for your books.
Some of my favorite jokes.
Yeah, you wrote for your books.
As well.
Well, you heard some of them when he was putting you down.
Yeah. That's right.
True.
Yes.
True.
Yeah, he's putting Jakey down.
Yeah, put downs are always a gas. It's always good to have put downs. I love funny songs. Especially takeoffs on funny songs. Like, why do you sing? One of your songs that you like so much. Yes, okay. Okay. God bless my underwear. I adored them, that I tore them on the nail of the old rocking chair. That kind of stuff. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Kick the teacher overboard and listen to her scream. So I love those kind of songs. Anything that makes fun of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are just awesome. Yeah.
I think
Those
some of
are
these
awesome.
moments topped Stephen Anthony Lawrence and Melissa.
Yeah, well, we've had some other guests in previous episodes who are just
one of them will be back.
hysterical. But this one definitely takes the cake as the funniest. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, shucks.
We're definitely having you back for sure if you want to.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do. We entertain.
Get all the people you worked with on Bear together. I mean, there was a Bear reunion. We do our own Bear reunion with the people you worked with on Bear.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
What about that? What about all the people that worked on Bear?
It was
Get you and the people who worked on it together, like have a mini reunion, and we host it.
Oh, yeah, I would love to do that. Do you know DJ Bob Runkle?
I do.
Yes,
Yes, he's one of my
Chris
good
knows
friends.
him.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's been such a resource.
Yeah.
And has worked so hard to get those old shows, good quality for it. And he sent me all my songs, on really high quality video. And he knows so much, and he's talked with everybody. He's great, DJ Bob.
Yeah, I actually used to be on his podcast a couple of years back.
Oh, really?
It was lots of fun.
Yeah, and some people from Bear were on it.
Yeah, we would love to. I think everybody was on who would join it.
I have to ask this in every Bear interview because we all miss her. What was it like working with Lynn Thigpen? I can't wanna.
With who?
Lynn
Thigpen, who voiced Luna on Bear.
I didn't really work with them. The only one I worked with at all, I mean, who I knew, who we hung out a little bit, was Peter. He was Tutter.
Peter Lenz.
He might
Peter,
come on in
yeah.
the future. We don't know.
Oh, really? He's great. He's really fun.
Yeah,
and,
he's really great.
I actually met him. I was doing a performance in this area, and he had come with his family, and he had stayed. He didn't know who I was. I mean, didn't know that I. And he was sitting in the back waiting to make his getaway if I sucked. Yeah. And then at the end, he came up and he said, "Wow, you're really great." He says, I work on Bear, the big
Yeah.
house. And I went,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
so do I. That was very exciting that we both found each other.
That's awesome.
And also because I do ventriloquism, it's sort of like a cousin of the Muppets and Bear and stuff, because it's the same kind of thing. So I went to my friend, very good friend, my best friend, worked at Sesame Street for many years.
Oh,
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so he took me to the cast parties.
Mhm.
And a lot of the people at Sesame Street worked on Bear.
Yeah, like Tyler Bunch, who is freaking awesome. We had him on here before.
Yeah. Tyler Bunch,
Yeah,
Peter
right.
Lenz, just a ton of people. Noel.
Yeah. So right. So it was such a thrill for me to go to a Sesame Street rap party and meet, Elmo and all these guys.
Kelly,
Right.
Snuffy.
Big
Yeah. And they kind of took me to heart because one, I worked with Bear, and also because when they found out I was a ventriloquist, they all got very excited. So it was fun. I was sort of like taken in immediately. My friend was the stage manager for Sesame Street, and also stage manager for Bear too, I think, for a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm just gonna take a guess that those were back in Jerry Nelson's day, who I surely miss, and he's amazing on Sesame Street. He was.
Yeah. You guys seem to know a lot more than I do about all of this, the background of all the Sesame Street and Bear. I just wrote the songs,
and you still connect with some people probably.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if I called Peter Lurie, not that long ago, something, I don't remember what it was. I needed to know.
Since I mentioned that, I wanted to bring this up. I mentioned this up on every Bear interview. There's one Bear person besides all of you guys we want to get, Jim Krupa, who's freaking awesome. He's still going to this day.
What was he doing?
I don't know what he did on Bear, but he's most known.
Did Jeremiah. It was either Jeremiah or like Otto or someone on Bear.
But me and Chris mostly know him as Chance and Pelican on Gaga Island.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I know he also created. I know he also worked a little bit with It's a Big World too.
Yeah, and he did Batley on Eureka's Castle, which I found out recently.
Wow. Yeah. You guys know your stuff, man.
Yeah.
We're getting way ahead of me. You're way ahead of me.
Yeah.
Adam Kruger, watch us and contact us. We need you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So I also about your YouTube channel is I remember listening to some of the other songs not related to Bear, but some of the songs that were on your CDs. Do you have a favorite song from your CDs?
I think probably my favorite was the one I really like is the Cupcake song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good
I like it because it really it's kind of funny, but it also is true, and it's got a message, about how much crap is in foods nowadays, and I was able to. It was based on a true story. I think if you saw the video, it says it in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I actually bought some cupcakes and looked at the ingredients and went, "Holy cow! Is that what I'm eating?"
Yes.
You remember the ingredients? Yeah, sure. Sugar, water, bleach, wheat flour, cornstarch, potassium sorbate, iron, salt, and monoester, sodium bicarbonate, food starch, guar gum, citric acid, mono and diglyceride, chocolate, liquor, riboflavin, folic acid, and thiamide, eggs, vanillin, carrageen, and carboxymethyl cellulose, cocoa made with alkali, whey and datum, spiced dextrose, confectioner's glaze, red 3 and 40, sorbitan, monostearate, rice flour, glucose, xanthan gum, sodium, aluminum, phosphate, blue 1 and 5. Oh, jeez, I think I forgot that. Blue 1 and titanium dioxide, propylene glycol, carotene. Don't that sound good? Then open wide. It's the Cupcake Song. The
That's
Cupcake
awesome.
Song. Tell me what's wrong with the Cupcake Song. Yeah. That's probably my favorite, but
Hey, I'm gonna make a joke,
That's a good
JD.
one.
You didn't have to put him on the spot, and he's saying, "There you go."
Yeah. The soda song.
Before sometimes.
The soda song's another good one.
Oh, I like the soda song. Yeah. I mean, I've written over 1,000 songs, so to say which one is my favorite is difficult to say,
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I also love the I'll tell you, out of the Bear song, I love the potty song.
Yes.
Yes.
I just really like that, and it was just fun to sing and fun to do, and always gets a laugh. And what other songs? Oh, The Biggest Sandwich in the World.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
like
that one.
that
Yeah.
one. And I don't know. That's it.
That's all.
That's it. That's it.
And,
What else you got? What else you want to know?
So do you have any things?
from Bear,
Yeah, like
besides- or
any things from Bear, like doing
doing magic
magic,
besides Harry.
like yeah, like any other things that you like want to show.
Oh,
besides Harry.
Yeah.
Well, Harry's right here, so there you go.
well, wait, let me put you down for a second, huh? Wait, don't do that.
Oh my gosh.
There's this. I love this trick. You know, this took years to work. My fingers never leave my hands.
Yeah.
Press.
So wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's cool. That's cool. That's awesome.
Let's go.
No, it's not. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Did you keep anything from Bear?
Linking rings.
Yeah.
Well, when you say bear, the bear doesn't do magic tricks. So I'm not sure what you're asking.
No, but like I know on certain other shows, people kept stuff from set and stuff.
Or were you ever given like a crew jacket or anything like that? Because
I see what you're saying. I have a hat from Bear.
Yeah.
Bear hat, and I had the doll, the Tutter doll.
Yeah. Which Chris has, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that was cool.
You can see it back there.
Yeah, but that was probably pretty much it. They never gave me a jacket. I've had jackets from other places I work, like the radio stations, but
Yeah.
not from Bear, I don't think. No.
That's crazy.
So I can't help you there, which is too bad.
Hey, it's fine.
Yeah, it'd be cool, it'd be like your show like the Bear had. But that'd be cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the subject of magic, do you have a favorite magic trick that you've done?
When I pour, it's on my YouTube channel, I think, when
Yeah.
I pour 7-Up into the newspaper and I talk about Bill Gates and Microsoft. That's one of my favorite.
That is a really good
And
one.
again, I do hundreds of tricks, so it's hard to say. There's a card trick that I do that is probably my favorite. Actually,
Yeah.
that's my favorite. It's in my book, Hocus Jocus. And you hand somebody a deck of cards and you tell them, without looking at them, to divide them into black and red.
Mm-hmm.
Black cards, red cards, and it's just mental telepathy. I'm imparting to them which card is red, which card is black. And at the end, they turn.
Yeah,
it over.
those are some really good tricks.
Yeah.
Just
So I would say that's a great one. I call it in the book. I call it the best card trick in the world, or that I know.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's. But again, I've been doing it since I was 5. So
Wow.
that's a lot of tricks under my belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any
Hundreds.
advice to anybody out there who wants to become a musician, songwriter, ventriloquist?
Get really savvy on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, when I was coming up, there was no computers even. So
Yeah.
you can't even imagine what it was like. It was a different world entirely. And it's hard for me to give advice because I don't know how it works now. I don't know how a young person would do it, but they wouldn't do it the way I did it,
Mm-hmm.
which is just slogging, from party to party and event to event. I think you have to be successful but like everything else, practice, perseverance. You got to really love it. All those universal things. You got to get really good and mostly really entertaining.
Yeah.
You cannot bore your audience.
Yeah, especially with ventriloquism, you have to
And
really
puppetry.
know how to make people laugh.
That's right. And there are a lot of really bad ventriloquists out there. And
Yeah.
so it doesn't even matter if your lips move. That's not what's important. What's important is
It's magic.
that they're mesmerized, that they're enthralled by what's going on with you.
Yeah.
And the relationship between you and the dummy has to be very strong.
Yeah. It's like you in puppetry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very
Right.
similar.
Yeah, that's a good thing because me and Chris, like I said, I got one last week, I think it was, and yeah, I'm just got into it.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
There was like a Muppet Whatnot kit that they were selling at Toys R Us a long time ago, and I got like my own puppet. I probably still have him somewhere.
Mhm.
He's in that closet
Yeah.
behind you.
Yeah, probably. It's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
in the closet behind me or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Well, you find an aspect of yourself that
Yeah.
same with magic, that
Yeah.
you basically are filtering. We all have many parts of us in our psyche, and you've got to find one that that you really are putting out there. It might be like for a magician, it might be a mystery guy like David Copperfield, or a funny
Yeah.
guy like Penn and Teller. But you got to find that and then sell that to the audience and have great patter. And it's not even that the tricks are so important. It's that they're being brought along on your journey and your story. So and use your imagination.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say to the fans of your work? Like people who are fans of your magic or ventriloquism or bear?
I am just so happy that I have fans at all.
Yeah.
I came to it kind of late.
Got you.
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah, I got to. Right. Just it's so wonderful to have somebody appreciate your work. There's nothing like it. And every time I'm one of these guys who, if somebody comes up to me on the street, and they do, because I'm pretty well known, especially in my area. When they come up and they compliment me, I'm just on cloud nine, because I don't act rude to them or I just really appreciate that they put out the time to tell me that. So I have nothing particularly to say except thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
There you
for
go.
enjoying my
You're welcome.
That's what everybody
You're welcome.
does.
And like I said in the beginning, I was, a big fan of your YouTube channel and stuff. I've been a fan probably, I think it was around like 2010, 2011 when I first found it.
Wow. It amazes me that I have a fan like you for so long. I don't even know it.
Yeah. So Chris didn't talk about it,
think,
but he searched it up. I don't remember what song it was, and then boom, next thing you know, your channel right there.
I think what brought me to your YouTube channel is your cover of Friends for Life, because Bear was probably one of the first things I ever saw, but I was told when I was a baby. And Friends for Life was always one of my favorite episodes. So I think seeing your cover of that song was what brought me to your YouTube channel.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Of course. So if anyone wants to find you or contact you, where can people find you?
Well, all you got to do is go to my website, stevecharney.com, and you'll get more information than you'll ever need or want. Everything's there on the website. So, and then the bottom of each page is my email and my phone number, steve@stevecharney.com. Yeah. So, it's easy to find me. I mean, if you just Google Steve Charney,
no worries, your social media will be in the description below anyway. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah. So, but if you go to stevecharney.com, that's probably the simplest thing for people to remember. Then you can go to the YouTube channel.
Google is very easy now.
I know.
Now.
Of course, I know.
Really easy to find people these days.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, it's so much easier. And also, what else? Oh yeah, I wrote a book. I don't know if you know about my book. Yeah, on Amazon, The Wooden Detective, and so that was that how to get to that is on the website. And my comic series, I made a series of comic strips during the pandemic. I learned how to do comic strips, and it goes on and on.
It's
I've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yes, you have done a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and they're all great. Sure. They're all really good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. So would you ever come back to the show in the future? Like maybe if we had some people from Bear on, like maybe Peter Lurie or Brian, like
I absolutely love it. I think we all would. I mean, it was such a special time for all of us that anybody who's interested in the show, obviously from you're saying Mitchell and Peter and all these other people, they
We'll get all
they
of
just
them.
want to keep it alive.
But yeah, and Bear's been getting a lot of recognition lately because Noel, who of course played Bear, is on TikTok, and he has a huge following on
Oh,
TikTok.
does he? Well, good for
Yeah.
him.
And Bear is like one of the most talkative shows to this day. And I think
Yeah.
Chaos
He's
Disney
on
is probably the most
Cameo as
popular
well.
Chaos Disney show ever.
He's on
Wow.
Cameo as well.
And everyone's been wanting for Bear to go on streaming, like on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah,
a
there was some
petition for
rumor.
it.
There was
Yeah,
some
oh, yeah, there's
rumor
a-
about that.
Oh, yeah,
I
there's a
would love
petition
it.
for it.
Yeah, definitely for Disney. They probably need material.
Yeah.
But I think it's hung up in. I think DJ Bob told me that it's. I think he the one who told. Maybe it was Peter. You know what? Maybe that's why I called Peter Lurie to find out if that was true. That they were planning to put it on Disney or someplace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
'cause I
he
know.
said it was hung up in some
Yeah.
heavy, Mitchell arguing, complaining about whatever, or something, I don't know, having to do with the rights, and that it was never going to happen. But
Right.
I would love it because it would mean
There
more
you
money
go.
for me. I made a lot of money.
People
Yeah.
just stream it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time they play my song was on a morning show, Regis and
Yes.
Kathy Lee. You probably don't remember
Yes,
that.
yeah, that's on YouTube. Yes, that is a fun
And
interview.
they played the potty song 45 seconds. And I called up, I said, how much money am I going to get for that? And they said, $5 when it's on the station. And I went, you're giving me $5? He says, oh, no, that's per station. It's on 1,000 shows, 1,000 stations, because it's a national show. He said, you just made $5,000.
That's
I
crazy.
went, whoa.
Whoa!
It's like hitting the jackpot, basically. Like,
I know,
It's like you
right?
go on a
Nothing.
game show win that much money.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So,
crazy.
so if it was on Disney Plus, it would mean I'd probably get royalties, again, which would be real nice. But
yeah, a ton of people would because
Mhm.
the
Oh,
show
yeah.
had so many different people working on it, so many puppeteers,
Right.
Yeah, Noel's on Cameo.
writers,
Yeah,
songwriters.
and it has over 25,000 petition people.
Yeah, have you
petition-
seen the petition?
Signatures. There's
Yeah,
like a
signatures.
petition to get it on
Oh, is
Disney
it?
Plus. Yeah.
oh, cool.
Well,
Oh, cool. That would be
know
so,
what
that
we'll
would
do?
be so great.
You know, what, we'll find it and we'll put it on the link for people to sign.
Yeah, there you go. That would probably get
All right,
more
I'd be
signatures.
happy
yeah.
to sign it, of course.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know
Who
Mitch will
knows?
find it.
Yeah, yeah.
He would-
Well, dog, he created a show.
There,
so
yeah,
what's the point?
I think
he
Mitchell
would
signed just
he'd make
about.
more money than anybody from doing that. Yeah, he created the whole thing, and I was lucky that I had a friend of mine knew him,
Mhm.
and they
Yeah.
came up to me once after a show and they said, "Hey, why aren't you on television?" And I said, it's just so easy. You think you can just go on television? And he said, well, I got a friend, I got a guy, you call him. And I called him, and Mitchell was going to make a star of me. He was really excited by my work, and we had this whole thing planned out, and it just didn't work. But I was pretty excited there for a while. He had this whole plan
There we go.
about getting a book with with Henson, and then I don't know, he had a whole thing worked out, but didn't work out. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for being
Yeah,
a
thank
part of the
you.
show. It has been a blast.
Exactly.
good.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep. Thank you so
Really
much for having me on,
appreciate
and I
And-
can't wait.
What?
Oh,
You want to say goodbye? Bye.
Bye. Bye.
bye, Harry. It's been an
Bye,
honor
Harry.
having you on here too.
Wait, what are you going to say?
Yep. Yep. Say
Smile.
Chris.
I got words. You got words? I got words. Okay, he has some last words to say to everybody. First of all, yes.
Yeah.
Don't sweat the small things, and don't pet the small sweaty things. Yeah, okay. What else? Do not drink and drive,
There you
because you
go.
might hit a bump and spill it all over yourself. Yeah. Anything else you want to say? Yes. Always aim high, guys, so you don't wet your shoes. Outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. Okay. And finally, what do you want to say? Smile, and the world smiles with you. Oh.
Aw.
Fart, and you smile alone.
Yep. Yep. Well, thanks for that, Harry.
Thanks for that.
Good,
You're
isn't it?
funny.
Good.
You're funny, Harry. always will be.
Harry,
honestly.
hopefully you come back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to be back. Yeah, he'll come back. If I'm back, he'll come back.
Yeah, for sure.
No
To
choice.
be honest.
He has no choice. Okay.
Yeah,
We
I'm
done?
gonna say, yeah,
What?
I'm,
Oh,
yeah,
go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say that we really appreciate what you've done and what the
Yeah.
three of us know, and you did a great job of what you're really doing, like what you love to do, and keep up your great work and carry what's going to be next. You know what's coming for some of us for Harry, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry's
Don't
funny,
believe
I
it.
swear.
Yeah. Well, he better be funny because if he's not funny, I starve. Yeah.
But anyway,
Uh,
thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoy and can wait what's coming for the next future episodes, and I hope you enjoy and stick around for more. But we appreciate your support and everything that we always say in every single episode. But until then, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time on another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. Be sure to follow us on social media and stream us wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Bye bye.